Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Ya lai 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 ya lai la lai ya lai la lai 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 ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai ya lai la lai 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 ya lai lai
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Let's try that again because we have a lot of people in the sanctuary. Shabbat Shalom. So it is nice to see all of you. Rabbi Harper is welcoming our congregation on Zoom, and here we are together in our sanctuary. I want to acknowledge we have a lot of wonderful people here, including some Zoom members who are now in our sanctuary from North Carolina. North Carolina, right? Excellent. and people who haven't been here since like pre-COVID, and it's great to see you as well. And then a lot of people who are the regulars and help sustain this community each Friday night. This is our TGIS service, meaning this is our service that's a little different. There's no family service at Temple Beth Elohim, because family service is usually code for like the service that kids are welcome to. And we want to have children welcome at every one of our services. But our TGS service, the music's a little different, the service is a little shorter, and the sermon's always appropriate for children and adults. And so I'm really grateful for all of our musicians here at TGIS, our singers who are here, who are going to present kind of their sermon and song on this Shabbat of Passover. So let us begin by turning off our cell phones or silencing them. I'm going to do the same, because during the week these things kind of distract us from what we know to be truly important in life, and that's family and friends and community. So here we are going to center ourselves and do that last act of creation before Shabbat begins. And that last act of creation should be making the world a better place by giving to others. So Rabbi Sapphire has the tzedakah box with lots of coins. Cantor Rosenberg has lots of coins. And if you are under the age of 13, and there are many of you, so don't don't knock him over. But he has coins, and we're going to give tzedakah while the adults introduce themselves to the people around them, and then we'll begin together. So adults, introductions. Children, tzedakah. Rabbi Sapphire and Cantor Rosenberg have coins. So raise your hand if you recited the 4 questions last night or the night before. Wow.
Whoa.
Now put your hands up. Raise your hand if you found the Afikomen. Wow. Raise your hands if you are thinking about the food on the table during the Seder, thinking, I can't wait to eat dinner. Wow, happy Passover, everyone. This is Chol HaMoed, the middle of Passover. So we still light our Sabbath candles as we bring in Shabbat. And since we have all these obstacles, I'm going to ask Rabbi Sapphire, who knows this sanctuary well, because when it was being built, we touched the ceiling on scaffolding once, in fact. So she knows her way around this place. And now on page 121 in our prayer book, and 120, if you'd like to follow or using the screens, joining together in our sanctuary and with those on Zoom as we join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Let's continue. I'm just noticing the pictures. Rabbi Sapphire, thank you for choosing these flowers, for this is the season of rebirth and spring is here. Let's continue with songs of joy for Shabbat, Yedid Nefesh, page 128.
Let's join with our tefillah band. Yedid nefesh avarachaman. Yedid nefesh avarachaman. Mishoch avdecha. Eretz zonecha. Mishoch avdecha. La 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 la. Eretz zonecha. Yarutz avdecha. Yarutz avdecha. Kimo Yedid nefesh, Yedid nefesh avarachaman. Yedid nefesh avarachaman. Mishoch avdecha. El ritzonecha. Mishoch avdecha. Ya la 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 la. El ritzonecha.
And we continue on page 142, and we're fortunate to have someone who used to sing up there in high school and now has one more year
One more year.
to become a cantor. And so Gabe is back with us home for the holiday. So thank you for being with us. Let's join with Gabe, page 142.
Shalom aleichem, malachei hasharet, malachei elyon. Melech malachei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Boachem lishalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Baruchuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Tzeiatchem lishalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei hamelachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
And continuing on page 138, we welcome welcome the Sabbath bride.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, ארוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת
Beloved, come to greet Shabbat.
This makes me so happy. Likrat Shabbat.
Means awake, awake, sing. Yuri, Shidaveri, Kodadonai, Alai, Milalecha,
Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat,
And if you're able, we rise and face the doors of the sanctuary as we welcome Shabbat into our hearts.
בואי ושלום, עצרת בעלה, גם
Enter in
בשמחה
joy, enter in gladness.
ובצהלה.
We welcome Shabbat.
שוכן מוני עם סגולה.
We bow and welcome
בואי
Shabbat.
חלה, בואי חלה, הולך אדוני, לקראת כלה, ובני שבת לקבלה. הולך אדוני, לקראת כלה, בני שבת לקבלה. בני שבת לקבלה.
Page 146, the call to worship.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yada lai 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 Yada lai lai
Let's all be seated as we're going to continue with the words of Shema Yisrael. Shema means listen. And we're taught by the rabbis, we were blessed with 2 ears and 1 mouth, meaning we're supposed to listen, ideally more than we speak, because it's when we listen we can learn. And last night and the night before with our Passover Seder, we're taught about how important learning is and asking good questions and listening. So let's continue with these words. Listen, O Israel, God is one.
Shema,
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. And we have a lot of budding Hebrew readers and some who are going to learn this prayer in the coming years. So we're going to read together with Ryan.
And halfway through, we're going to bring forward our junior choir members. So Cantor Josh will come get you when it's the right time.
Join together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
And so as we have learned over and over again throughout the retelling of the Exodus story, one of the most important moments was when we stood at the sea. And the sea, what happened, junior choir? The sea parted. And we were able to walk through on dry land. And in that moment, we expressed these words, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nadar ba'kodesh. Who is like you, God, who has brought us out, as we know, from Mitzrayim, from a narrow place? And so our junior choir has been working on this song. And in fact, Rabbi, is this the moment? Did you want? Okay, never mind. This is not the moment. Okay, so here we go. All right, junior choir, as loud as we can. 1, 2, 2, 3. Standing at the sea.
Yasher Koach. What a treat. As they're making their way back, let's join back together on page 161 for a prayer asking us for love and peace and understanding in all places, in all corners of the world. Let us join together. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter. Let's join together. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit for a prayer that asks us to open up our lips so that we can declare whatever praises are on our heart this evening. I'll join together with Asher and Lev Novisky and really the whole band, really. Let's come in together. Adonai, Sifatai Tivta. Yagi Tehilatecha Adonai Sifatai Tivta Yagi Tehilatecha Adonai, Sifatai Tivta. Ufiagi, Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. I invite you to take this time for your own private words of reflection.
We're going to continue with a prayer for peace. We'll place the words on the screen. But we think about people all around the world who are struggling for peace. And today we especially think of those in Israel, as there was violence today in the land of Israel. And we think of all those suffering, and we ask, may peace come soon.
Say shalom, Roma. Oh, say shalom, Roma. Uyase, 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 shalom, uyase. Uyase, uyase, shalom. Uyase, 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 shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace, everyone. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom, be Roma.
With peace in our hearts, we think of those who are in need of a little extra peace, a little extra wholeness, whether it is a healing of the body, of the spirit, or of the mind. We ask if you are thinking of someone who you want to lift up in prayer this Shabbat, to rise and share their name aloud with us as a community, as our clergy makes their way around the room.
I'd like to say a missionary prayer for the former 39th President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. May he continue to go from strength to strength. Yes, Kolach.
Thank you, Ed. Let's join together, page 371.
Mishepera avoteinu lekol habracha leimoteinu. Hail the source of strength, who bless the ones before the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
Each week we recognize our joys, our blessings, the God-given moments that we experience each week. So let's see if we have any birthdays to share this evening, whether it's here in the room or on Zoom. Daniel. Your birthday was Monday. Happy birthday, Carol. Happy 85th, Eldon. She said the number, so I have to repeat it so they can hear it on Zoom. Mazel tov. Did I see it? Yes. April 8th. Is it your birthday?
Oh, so
And
yesterday.
tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Whoops.
Tomorrow. Happy birthday. A Shabbat birthday. Any other birthdays? Yes. Say it again, Elodie. Yours is in a few days. Happy birthday.
Oh, we have a birthday here? Ezra had
Ezra's-
a birthday this week, celebrating
Ezra
with us.
had a
Thank you so
birthday
much. Oh, last week.
Last
sorry.
week. Happy birthday. Any others? How about anniversaries? Oh, that's on this. Clap first. Happy anniversary. Doug and I are celebrating an anniversary next week. Mazel tov to us.
Is that how that works?
Did I see a hand? Happy anniversary as well. Any other God-given
15
moments that you'd
Mazel
like to?
tov.
Yes, Jeff. Wow. Wow. Lots of accomplishments at this season. Any others like to share?
Rabbi, I think there are some on Zoom as well that are trickling
Mazel
in.
tov to all of you as well. So we have a Shehechianu moment to share. This is the first time publicly this year that we will count the Omer, for we count a period of 7 weeks, a total of 7 times 7 students, 49 days from Passover to Shavuot. And tonight I'm not going to announce the day in advance because we have to say a blessing, but you will hear what number we are on this evening. And I will say, if you would like to follow the counting along with me, I count every single night on my TBE Facebook page. We'll spiritually reflect, discuss, and enjoy these 7 weeks together. So Cantor Zell loves to chant the melody of this blessing.
This melody is
It's a
beautiful,
festival.
and I hope that you'll pick up on it and perhaps continue to count in this way with us. Sounds like this. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer.
And we announce the day, Hayom Shnei Yamim LaOmer. Let's read together. Today
Today is the second day of the Omer.
All right, so for all these blessings, counting another year of life, celebrating love in these God-given moments, let's join together in Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu So, you may have noticed that our setup is a little different. You may notice that we're missing one or two things. You may notice that we're adding one or two more things. And so tonight, we're going to try something a little different. Youth choir, you're on deck. You're not coming up yet, but get ready because in the middle, there we go. In the middle, we're going to call you up to participate in our sermon slot today. At Passover Seders, the past ones, the ones maybe yet to come, we sometimes push it to weekends for logistics in such a holy way. Many of us gather with friends to talk about Yitziat Mitzrayim, to talk about the Exodus from Egypt. And we may have focused on some big name people there. We may have focused on Joseph and his dreams, maybe on Pharaoh and his fear, maybe Yocheved and her defiance, maybe Moses and his bravery, and maybe Miriam and Miriam's joy leading all the women and all the children in singing and dancing, which we'll do in a moment. In all of this talk of big names, and these big names our K-7 learners have been studying over the past year, something might be lost. Something might be missing. Last week, as our guest speaker, Rabbi Daniel Kripper, reminded us, a traditional Haggadah, a guide to the Seder, does not include Moses, does not include the name of Moses at all. And he argues, which I found so special, that Moses' struggle is kind of inside all of us in that May. Tonight, I want to offer a different interpretation for why Moses may or may not be in the Haggadah. And if Moses were no longer in the center of our story, what voices might that lift up? What perspectives might that bring to the center? I want to offer tonight a little taste of the Ploni in the background, the Joe Schmo in the desert, the ordinary Israelite, and his or her or their perspective on what's going on. The story of the redemption is our story, and every person who made it to the edge of the sea had a role to play. Not just the heroes, not just the villains, all of us together. You too, youth choir, you too have a role in this story. So tonight, I ask you, who could you have been? Who are you in the Passover story?
So let's begin. In fact, everyone can take out their hammers. This is going to be all together. We're going to bang our hammers low. In fact, I think I see some Gan Elohim students here who might be able to sing this even louder. 1, 2, 3. Bang, 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 hold your hammers low. Bang, 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 give a heavy blow. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light. Dig, 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 dig your shovels deep. Dig, 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 there's no time to sleep. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light. Youth choir, it's your time to ascend into your spots. As we ask the question one more time, who were you in the Passover story? Perhaps, just perhaps, you were one of the slave cooks in the palace, toiling by a hot clay oven, making meals for Pharaoh and his court. For countless hours, you've been tending to the heat, sweating as you grind the grain, flatten the dough, and bake the bread for hundreds of wealthy Egyptians that you have never met. The cooking is finally done. You carefully balance the enormous tray of bread. Friends, can you balance the tray with me? You carefully balance the enormous tray of bread. You climb the steps with your friends. Up, up, up. Your hands are sweating, and you get to the top. Suddenly, clenched hands with trays of bread inside of it, you see a robed man with a long beard making a demand of your king, your God, Pharaoh.
Maybe you were a slave brick maker that we sang about earlier, forced to mix the straw and mud together in the broiling sun to construct monuments for all the Egyptian royalty. Your taskmaster just told you that you will not be given any straw to make your bricks. You're going to have to gather it all by yourself. All by yourself. You spend hours in the ground gathering straw, hours trudging in the mud pits. You've spent all your energy. Can we take a deep collective breath? Whew. Your knees crack, your arms ache. You dip your hand into the Nile River. When you start to hear something ribbit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt land.
Frogs were jumping in Pharaoh's hair.
10 plagues in Egypt land.
Pharaoh didn't like it, but the frogs didn't care.
10 plagues in Egypt.
Let's all count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt land. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt land. Filthy flies, so dirty and vile.
10 plagues in Egypt land.
Not exactly Pharaoh style.
10 plagues
In Egypt land. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt. Again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt.
The hail rained down from the heavens on high.
10 plagues in Egypt land.
Hurt so much made Pharaoh cry.
10 plagues in Egypt land.
Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt land. Again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues.
In Egypt land.
Dark descended in the night of day.
10 plagues in Egypt land.
Pharaoh was lost, he couldn't find his way.
10 plagues in Egypt.
Last time, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt land. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plagues in Egypt land.
Maybe, if that weren't enough for you, maybe you were an animal caretaker. Nod your head if you like animals. Maybe you took care of animals. It was your lifelong goal to care for the donkeys of your slave camp when suddenly you woke up and you saw all of your neighbors and all of your friends rushing out of the camps saying, "It's time to go. We are finally free." Well, you know that your donkeys are not going to wake up easily. So you walk up, you bang, 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 still not awake. You walk over, you rush, 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 still not awake. Finally, you drag the donkeys out and you join the throng leaving towards freedom. You walk and walk and walk. You don't know whether your stomach or the donkey's stomach is grumbling any louder, but you finally make it all the way to the Sea of Reeds when, Pharaoh's army's right behind, and you're trapped between Egyptian sword and endless sea.
Singing and dancing, Micha Mocha. Singing and dancing, Micha Mocha. Singing and dancing, Micha Mocha. Freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way.
You might even have been an Egyptian soldier who encountered divine wonders, seeing things that he would have never, ever seen before. A pillar of cloud turning into a pillar of fire, the sea splitting in two, and a passage of dry land all the way through the middle. You swallow hard. You grip your sword tightly. You hear the call to prepare an attack. The cacophony of cries is all around you. Your sweat is down, and you pause. Something inside of you softens, just like Pharaoh's heart. You drop your sword. You take one step forward, another step forward. You drop your helmet and you rush through the sea to join the Erev Rav, the mixed multitude, joining together with all of your new brothers and sisters and celebrating in your new community.
Ilu Hotzianu, Mi Mitzrayim, Hotzianu, Mi Mitzrayim, da-da-da-da-da, Dayenu, 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 Ilu Natan Lanu, et HaShabbat Natan Lanu, et HaShabbat Dayen, da-da-da-da-da, Dayenu, 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 Torah! Ilu Natan Lanu, et HaTorah, Natan Lanu, et HaTorah. Everyone together! Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
How might we tell our stories differently if we acknowledge those not just in the headlines, but also all of us, all of our voices together? How might our news cycles, our Twitter feeds, our history books, how might they look if we decentered the heroes and the villains and instead looked at all of our perspectives? Your story matters. Your story matters. And without all of our perspectives taken together, redemption and revelation are not complete. As we enter Chol HaMoed Pesach, the Shabbat, into the intermediate days, let's see the value of our own stories, seek to lift up new perspectives as we write the next chapter of our history together. And we'll say, Dayenu, let that be enough for us.
Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
Let's say a big Yasher Koach.
Yasher Koach.
Koach. So as our youth choir descends the bima, we will continue our service as we ask you to rise in body or in spirit for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח להדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגוד עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו ושמו אחד.
As we begin to conclude, we remember those who are no longer with us, those who we have lost at this season in years past, whose yahrzeits or anniversary of their death we observe this week, those who we have lost, our family members in the last 30 days, or our parents in the last year. If you are observing one of these periods of mourning, we ask that you rise, share the name of your loved one as well as their relationship to you. Did we miss anyone? We've also been asked to read the names of William Fagan, Shirley Glazier, Samuel Siegel, Doris Sessler, Stanley Snyder, Judith Summer, and Judith Summer. Let's rise now as a community in support of these mourners as we turn to page 598 and join together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. Bechayachon v'yomechon u'vechaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen.
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
A few announcements before we head on our way to celebrate Shabbat. Our TGIS dinner will continue in the gathering spaces right next door, right after services. I want to call your attention to all of our upcoming adult engagement and community opportunities. But next Tuesday evening, we have a very special opportunity at 7:30 p.m. to view Eva's Promise, which is a documentary about a Holocaust survivor that is making its debut internationally. Join us at 7:30. Both the director and Barbara Grossman will be here to speak on a panel afterwards.
I just wanted to say something very brief, which is that there are so many children in our midst tonight, and as you can see, we have such musical talent in our community. So if you have a child who would like to join our junior choir, that is grades K to 5. If you have a child who would like to join T-Band 2, T-O-O, that is grades 6 and 7. And if you have a child who would like to join our very talented Tefillah band, that is grades 8 through 12. Please come and see me.
And Yasher Koach to all of those
And
who
Yasher
joined our
Koach
services
to all of our
tonight.
amazing groups tonight.
One
and our
final
musicians.
announcement. In just a month's time, we have a really special entire weekend of adult engagement, May 5th through 7th. I have a note here from Rabbi Harper that I want to share. We invite you to join us for a weekend-long celebration of Jewish arts and culture. There will be a community dinner and singing on Friday night, experiential workshops throughout the day on Saturday, and so many things to do throughout that entire day. If you feel inspired by the amazing works of art and storytelling, pottery that have been
I'm happy to introduce it if you need it.
Yeah.
For those that are in the
Yes.
room, you'll see our 6th and 7th graders have displayed their pottery inspired by a slave artist who was only known as Dave the Potter. He inscribed his own poetry into his pots to keep a resistance alive inside his community. And our 6th and 7th graders are inspired by that, recreating that art, which leads to an adult experience.
Yes, we're going to the MFA as a community on this Sunday, May 7th. So join us, view the pottery outside. That's just a little preview of what's to come. Are you our bar mitzvah boy this
I am
evening?
the bar mitzvah boy today.
Amazing. Next slide.
So let's join
yes.
together if you can rise, and then we're going to say the motzi over the matzah, and then we'll go outside and greet one another. So if you'll join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu b'charta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava u'ratzon
Hinchatanu.
Nice.
Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Hashabbat. L'chaim.
Grape juice, Rabbi?
And Ryan has the matzah. Any announcement for those staying for dinner?
Just head straight next door. Do not
That
pass
way.
go the oneg.
Yes.
Just go straight over.
Whole wheat.
Whole wheat matzah, yum.
So excited. Let's join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avam.
You get to take the bite of matzah.
And if you really want to see Rabbi Sisselman eat a piece of matzah, check out the video.
Let's conclude with,
Dainu.
let's join together.
Dainu. 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 Yasher Koach, T-Band, T-Band 2, Junior Choir, you are amazing.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Ezra,
Good Shabbos.
Ilan, Ben, Toda Rabah.
All right, that is loud enough. Hello, great job. Yesher Koach, friend. Come find a seat. Come find a seat. Don't eat yet.
I've decided
Come
to-
find